Good morning, stamping friends. I'm Karina with karinaskreations.com, and I wanted to show you how to make this really easy fancy fold card today using the Country Home stamp set. So this is what the basic card looks like, and then it just opens up like that. So it doesn't take that long to make. And this is actually part of my stamp set of the month, which is $30.95. You get the stamp set, and then you either get the 3 completed cards or you get the card kits to make the cards. So this is the second card in the kit, and then this is the third card in the kit. So I have more details on my blog at www.karinaskreations.com. And like I said, I'm using the Country Home stamp set, which looks like this. I love it because it's perfect for fall cards. It can be used spring, summer. You just change up the colors. And I love the sentiments in the set. They're very nice as well. And it also has coordinating designer series paper, which I have barely any left. I have used up so much of this fun paper, but the designs are just gorgeous in this pack. I just love it. You know, and you've got some pumpkins if you want to do some Halloween cards or fall cards too. So I think it's a very, very versatile set. Okay, we'll get started and I'll show you how to make this really easy card. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is get a piece of cardstock. Now, I used Old Olive. I need a birthday card, so I'm going to play with different colors. So I'm just getting a piece of regular cardstock, and we're just going to cut it at 5.5 inches. Now, I'm using the Stampin' Up paper trimmer. I love it. And it's got a scoring blade and a cutting blade, so I'm lining it up at 5.5 inches. Just cutting your paper in half. And then I'm going to score it at 4.25 inches. Because I'm making a fancy fold card, I need to chop off a little bit of it. So I'm going to line this up. So this folds out. It has a little stabilizer foot at the bottom. And I'm going to chop it. I'm going to line this up at 7 inches. And we're going to chop off basically 1.5 inches. So there we go. Now, I noticed that my edge is getting a little fuzzy, so the nice thing about this is I can buy replacement blades for my Stampin' Up trimmer. I like to have a package on hand, but so when you order your paper trimmer, make sure that you get some replacement blades at the same time. Okay, so that's basically that's how I cut my card base. Now let's pull that out of the way because that is the wrong color. I have already got one ready to go in Old Olive. And I'm just going to, let's just put the base together a little bit. So I'm taking a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and it is 2.5 inches by 5.25. And can you see how I'm using this grid paper? Stampin' Up does sell grid paper too. I think it's one of their kind of hidden gem products in the catalog. I love it. And I'm just going to use some mono multi-glue, or I can use snail adhesive as well. We'll see if this is working. I'll use this one. Just kind of use whatever's handy. But if you notice my mono multi-glue, I keep it in a cup. That's my tip of the day. Keep it in a cup so it's hanging upside down and it's ready to go. I'm just going to open this up. And we'll put this in here. And then the designer series paper, I chose this design today. And the measurement is 2.25 by 5 inches. See, now I'm using snail. Doesn't really matter what you use. Mono multi-glue is, the Tombow glue is a little bit stronger if you want your cards to last for a long time. I do highly recommend it. I do have an inside piece because we need the inside of the card, so I'm doing the easy parts first for you. This is 4 inches by 5.25 inches. My tip is to stamp the greeting before you glue it down. Oh, let me stop there. See, I almost put it down. You know what? I have to set this aside because there's a trick to this card. Almost made a mistake already, so let me set this aside. Okay, we're going to jump back in here to the original card design. Do you notice this little flat piece? There's something special about it. So it is 3.25 inches by 3.25 inches. And then I put it in my Stampin' Up paper trimmer. I'm lining it up to this little mark is 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to give it a little score. And you're probably looking at this going, why does it look like it has a texture in this cardstock? Can you see that, or is it too dark in my stamp room? What I actually did was I like to give some texture to my cards. We have a new embossing folder. It's one of these new thick dynamic embossing folders, and it's called the subtle embossing folder. It doesn't show very well in the catalog, but it can texturize any of your paper. So I use this all the time just to add a little bit of interest to it. Okay, now that I've created this little fold, I'm just going to fold it over and make a nice crisp edge with my bone folder. And I'm going to grab my tear and tape adhesive. And it's going to go like this. So let's open it up. Put it on here close to the edge. It does hang over a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to be hidden in my card. If it hangs over the edge, I'm just going to fold it back just a little bit. There we go. And then this piece, see how I almost goofed this up? I have to put this in first. So what I'm doing is centering this between my Whisper White cardstock. And like I said, the Whisper White one was 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I think that's pretty close. And then that's how you create your flap. Now that I have this in, actually I don't want it to come out, so I am going to use a little bit of the liquid glue. When you use this, you have to use a really light hand. It comes out really fast. So if you're a liquid glue challenge, just use your snail adhesive or tear and tape adhesive. Now I can open up the card and put my inside piece in. There we go. Now, doesn't that look better? Okay, now since I had my inside piece in there, let's get out the stamp. So I'm going to put "You Are the Happy" to my date. These are photopolymer stamps. Oh my goodness, I need to clean my messy block. I was doing techniques and used black StazOn, and I'll have to use StazOn remove around my block now. But I also line this up on my grid paper to get my words straight. There, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to grab out my Blackberry Bliss classic ink pad, and it opens now. These new ones open like a compact, so it just flips up and slides in place. When you first get them, they're quite stiff, so don't be alarmed. They do loosen up quite a bit. And these are foam pads. They're very juicy, so you just have to do a little tap, tap, tap. Do a little tap dance on your pad, and then give it a nice press, straight down and up. And oh, I love it when that's perfect. I'll turn it this way so you're not reading it upside down. And then I'll just close the pad. Now we need to decorate the card front, of course. So we are going to use this little flower image. I will set this aside. I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm using Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm inking it up this way because I can actually see what needs to be inked. I can go over it a few times. And then we'll just stamp it on here in the middle of the cardstock. If you're wondering what size this is, it's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, but you can see it is pretty large. And I'm using Memento Black because I want to use our new Stampin' Blends. So our Stampin' Blends come in a variety of colors. I love it. They are an alcohol marker. And this color here that I'm using is Blackberry Bliss. There's a kind of a fat tip, kind of a nice thin tip. So we'll color with the thin tip first, and I'm just going to color the flowers. I like to start with my lightest color first. And I usually only color little bits at a time because when you add the darker shade on top and the ink is still wet, it blends better. So if you want a nice blended together look, you do that. If you don't want a blended look, let it dry. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the other side. I'm just going to add some more highlights to my flower. I like this because the shadow's sort of already in here, so I'm just going over the black highlights with my dark Blackberry Bliss color. Okay, so that's that. My little, I don't know what you call these little wood things. I'm going to make them a crumb cake color. And I could add highlights to this, but I don't know where the other one is right now, so I will not. I'm going to color these little flowers with, this is the dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend. Had to double check. Yes, it is. That's the right color. And then I'm going to also use the light Old Olive. I just love these Stampin' Blends. They're so nice to work with. Christmas is coming, ladies, so make your wish list and hand it to your husband. You can get gift cards through me, gift certificates. Okay, I'm going to add a darker shade. And then you get some fun stamping supplies for Christmas. Or just buy it for yourself. Either one. Okay, and I'm just going to color the little berries. So you can see I'm using the wide tip. I guess there's a thin tip and a wide tip. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty? And now I'm grabbing our 2-inch circle punch. And all our punches have a little enclosure at the bottom, and it just stores it flat. So it takes up less storage space. So I'm just gonna punch it like this. I always stamp first, punch later. And then I'm grabbing the Starburst punch, and I'm going to use, this is crushed curry. So we'll get one crushed curry image. And then we will put these together. So I'm going to use my snail adhesive. You can see what the alcohol markers do on the back. They kind of bleed together, but it's such a beautiful crisp image when you go to color it. Now I needed another layer. So we used to have a 2.5-inch circle punch, which retired. So the closest thing I have to that, so I went and purchased the layering circle framelit dies. You get scallop shapes and circle shapes, and I use the third largest circle die. And I pre-did that. I did that with my Big Shot machine, and I pre-did that. So let's just get 2 Stampin' Dimensionals. Stampin' Dimensionals are here, and we will pop this up on my card. Dimensionals make everything better. And see how it's a little crooked? Then you can just go, oh, I don't like that. That doesn't look so great. And then we can fix it. Okay, what do you think? Much better? I think it looks better. Okay, so now we've got this going here. Let me just go over my folds. I found when I mailed them, they did lie flat after a while. Okay, and then I'm going to put another dimensional to put it on here just because it's texturized now. So if you were just to use the snail adhesive, it wouldn't stick that well. Liquid maybe, but if you use the dimensionals, it's going to stick for sure. So let's put that on here. There we go. Isn't that coming together nicely? And with this product suite, this Country Home product suite, there is a new product called Linen Thread. Or sorry, braided linen trim. So you could actually take pieces of it, pull it apart, do a whole bunch of fun things with it. I'm just going to do a bunny ear bow. So make your 2 loops, and you just put one loop over the other, put it through the hole, go in the rabbit hole. Maybe that's why it's called bunny ears. I don't know, I learned to tie my shoes like this years ago, and I find it makes the best bows because the bows tend to lie flat. Okay, I'm just going to trim the edge. And I'm going to put this on now with a glue dot. I actually have some glue dots. Yay. So when you peel these back and look in the light, you can see the glue dot on here. Put the middle of the bow on your glue dot. And then I like to grab it. You can grab it with scissors. We have a new fabulous take your pick tool that works well. And I just don't know where it is right now. And then I'm going to grab some pearls, and we'll add a couple pearls to this. Now on my original card, I just used the white pearls, but I forgot about these. We sell these Share What You Love artisan pearls, and look, they're already colored. Isn't that great? So I'm going to put one of these here. Let's put one of these here. It's already kind of a Blackberry Bliss color. Because there's different shadings in this pack, I find it goes with so many colors. Now, the only thing I think this is missing is it needs a little bit of Wink of Stella. So let's pull out Stella. Stella is a glitter, a magical glitter brush. You just have to pull it open. The first time you get a Wink of Stella, there is a plastic band here. You need to remove it. And then where it says push, you need to push it a few times to prime it. And then if you're not getting shimmer paint out, you can push it again. And what it does is it just adds a nice little shimmer to your flowers. And glitter just makes life just a little bit better. So I like to glitter everything. Okay, I don't know if you can really see the shine, but it's in there. So anyway, that is my card. This is what it looks like. So I hope you will go and try an Easy Fancy Fold card. And if you like this video, please, please, please share it. I'm trying to improve my social media presence, so that would help me out a lot, or else like the video as well. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you will try make this card. Have a great day.